What's up everyone and welcome to another Warframe video. Apologies for how long it's been since I actually released one of these, however unfortunately I had a bit of an accident at the start of November. I severely broke my leg and that needed surgery. I've got plates and pins in there now, so I've not been able to get to the PC to be able to really record anything at all. Even now, I can only be at the PC for short bursts of time, so videos are going to be a bit more sporadic than they were previously, just while I recover from this. Now I know my builds are usually ones that just min-max the heck out of absolutely everything and show powerful builds for frames and weapons. If I'm honest, most of these builds just sort of sit in my inventory, not being played. Because like everyone does, I have my favourite builds that I fall back on when I'm just playing Warframe for fun, rather than if I'm pushing the limits of the frame. And I thought today I would just show one of my favourite loadouts and frames. The frame that I use for just chilling, watching Netflix, farming stuff in Warframe, and that is the heavy attacking Pennant on the Unkillable Inaros. Now Inaros is a frame that quite frankly needs absolutely no introduction whatsoever. He's a frame that realistically nobody mods particularly specifically for his abilities, mostly because abilities are just bad, or are kind of good enough at base that they don't need any modding whatsoever. And this means we can do interesting things with him, and the introduction of Helminth means that we had basically a blank slate to figure out what the best ability for him would be. Ever since I was a kid, I've loved the ancient Egyptians, so Inaros, that came out as an Egyptian themed frame. I knew it was going to be one that would get a whole lot of use from me. He's been my go-to frame for playing the game and simply just chilling, playing while chatting with friends or watching movies. It's great playing a frame that just keeps you on the edge, like the Garuda that I put a couple of months out back. But most of the time, I just want to relax and just mow through hordes of enemies with ease. So that brings us to Inaros, and the modding, his Helminth ability. It's pretty much max hit points with a bit of power strength. That's the TLDR of that. It's triple Umbral. I do have a couple of Umbral Former on here because it allows me to do more with the aura. I've got Prime Vigor for more hit points, both the health and armor carapace mods, Gladiator Resolve for the extra health and the crit chance to link with combo counter, adaptation for damage reduction. Now the amazing thing about these carapace mods is they work fantastically on a platform such as Inaros, and when combined with the weapon that I am using, the Pennant. So why am I using the Pennant? Well, I have a rather glorious rhythm for it. Initial combo, crit chance and melee damage, and that makes the slash procs from the force proc on heavy attack hit like a truck. Huge armor ignoring slash proc ticks combined with a simply huge, massive heavy attack range, and because of life strike, a full heal on every single swing as well, even when you have a frame with 10,000 health like I do. We're also working with those carapace mods that I mentioned earlier. We get a little bit of evasion on a heavy attack kill, which, while isn't anything much, still nice to have. And then the explosion on the kill of lifted enemies, which, since the heavy attack counts as a lift, means that you get that extra bit of damage from that source as well. Neither of these are huge game changers, but honestly, they are nice to have. Helminth ability isn't the most interesting choice in the world, and that's Eclipse. Warcry with Eternal War is also a pretty solid choice. I didn't really notice it that much in a heavy attacking Pennant build, and since Eclipse provides both more damage reduction and damage based on where you're standing at the time, it's hard to go wrong with that one. Plus, you also have to sacrifice a mod slot with Eternal War, so you don't have to do that with Eclipse. But it also plays into the whole easy to play aspect of Inaros, since you basically needed to care about one ability every 25 seconds or so. Arcanes are another thing that honestly, kind of mostly blank slate here. Guardian's a good lazy option, you take damage, get 900 armor, can't really go wrong with that. Could switch that with Ultimatum, if you want to keep an eye on that timer, use your pocket sand from your 1 to refresh your armor. I personally go with the easier option, but Ultimatum is, honestly, the better option here. For the second Arcane, you could go with Grace for the normal Inaros loadout, but since we have 10,000 health and Life Strike, I feel it's not really worth it at all. Arcane Fury is by far the best choice here as our second Arcane though, and is a huge part of the slash proc damage since it's actually a larger number than even Prime Pressure Point is. But wait, there's more. Combine this build with the Panzer Cap from Demos, and now you have an Unkillable companion, 18,000 health, enemy radar, loot radar, vacuum, and also spreads 10 stacks of viral everywhere, like Sarin does, to further boost those monster slash procs from the Pennant. Even focus is a blank slate, no combo counters to worry about here either, so we're not tied to Naramon. We don't use very much energy, so we're not tied to Nurik. You could run Inaros for increasing base armor, Madurai for increasing the damage of the slash procs, or Vazarin for objective heals and instant revives. This build actually has so much utility, it is unreal. But why do I love this setup so much? 10,000 health, a ton of armor between mods and Scarab armor, crowd control on your first ability, damage and damage reduction from Eclipse, insane damage from the Pennant, synergy with the Carapace mods, a full heal on every heavy attack swing, an unkillable companion with constant vacuum and enemy radar. This loadout is the epitome of ease to play, and is the reason I go back to it every single time. That plus, let's be honest, the Pennant in my Inaros does look absolutely amazing. It's kind of silly, really. Honestly, it's one of my laziest frames to play. I mean, you swing the Pennant and cast your 3 every 25 seconds. Yet, honestly, this is by far one of the most synergistic builds in my arsenal. And all of that power and all of that synergy goes into making the frame as easy to switch yourself off to as possible. So, I hope you enjoyed this different style of video. We're still pushing frames and weapons as far as we can. However, in a build that I actually play on the regular. Hopefully, I can bring more videos out in the near future as my leg heals. But for now, I hope you had a great Christmas and a very, very happy New Year, and I shall catch you in the next video.